Hey, everybody. I am Mike Leach, and I am here as part of the show, the Total HiFi Experience. This is The Talk, and we're going to be spending some time today with Ryan Mounts from Wizard Sound out of Austin, Texas. And he's going to be at the Lone Star Audio Fest that is going to be this May 2nd through 4th. If you haven't gotten your tickets yet, this is like the time to get them now. You can go over to theshownow.com and you can get your tickets there. Use my code ambassador 2025. That's 2025. And then you can get a discount off your tickets, especially if you're going to be in the Austin area and you want to check it out. It's going to be really cool. I'm excited to see everything that Austin has to offer, not just only in hi-fi, but also maybe some live music while I'm there as well. So I'm definitely looking for, I got to not hit my mic. I'm definitely looking forward to going to Austin and to the Lone Star Audio Fest. Now, let me introduce to you Ryan Mounts of Wizard Audio. Hey, Ryan, thank you so much for joining us here on The Talk.
Hello, thanks for having me.
Well, I was curious. When I do these talks, typically I like to get to know the person behind the company or behind the business. And that's really important to me because I know that in this day and age, streaming and social media and all the stuff going on, I really want to connect with that person behind the business. And one of the things I would like to ask you just to start things off is just to tell me a little bit about yourself.
Sure. I am a native Texan. Not a lot of those here in Austin. Um, was born, Seguin. Military dad. Moved around. Lived in Germany for a little while. Lived in Colorado when I was younger. Uh, Eventually came back here to a little town. Well, it's not little anymore. Bastrop, Texas, I guess,
Okay.
is expanding by the day. But even smaller than that, by Bastrop, there's a little town called Smithville, Texas, and that's where a lot of growing up happened for me. Uh, what else you want to? Oh, I guess you probably want to know how I got into music and stuff like that.
Yeah, actually, I was going to ask you like what, because I know, so you started Wizard Audio, and I kind of want to know like the journey that led you to getting into audio, and then eventually getting into restorations and also just yeah, I noticed you actually do recording as well. So I'd like to know a little bit about kind of how you what was your journey like as like a kid, and who influenced you, who brought you into the fold, so to speak, when it comes to hi-fi and audio.
Yeah, sure. I'd say the most memorable thing was, when my parents wanted to get rid of me and my brother for the summer, they would send me to the grandparents up in Amarillo, Texas. Or it's easier to say Amarillo, but it's actually a smaller town called Borger, Texas, near Amarillo. And my grandpa had a man cave with a pool table and a record player and speakers and a bunch of records, and they were all 70s rock, Led Zeppelin, ZZ Top, everything and everything in between.
The good stuff.
Yeah, yeah, the good stuff, exactly. So that was very memorable to, be just let loose in his man cave with all of his vinyl and all of his record players and speakers and just experience it as it was back as they did back 40 years ago. Um, I started getting into playing guitar, when I was 10 or 11, whatever. Um, had a couple bands out in Bastrop, high school friends, or the normal thing.
Hmm.
Um, and then I actually went to college for mechanical engineering at A&M, but I dropped out and I decided I want to pursue music. Um, I went to ACC here, Austin Community College, and they have a
Okay.
great music business program, music business production and technology program there, where I learned how to record, use Pro Tools, Ableton, set up all the analog gear, mixing consoles and track actual players and stuff, and it was real fun. Loved that. Um, high school bands dissolved, all that stuff, and I ended up interning for this artist called Israel Nash, who is in Dripping Springs.
Okay.
Um, Worth a look up. He's really good. Recorded 3 albums with him. I had a little bit of a hand in Topaz. I helped out and recorded it and mixed Ozarker, which is the newest album by Israel Nash that came out.
Okay.
And there's one more in the works. I don't have liberty to say what it is, but there's one more that has not come out that has been recorded years and years ago. Um, let's see. I actually do have some records and stuff here to show here. So backing up to when I was younger, I loved Queens of the Stone Age. This is a seminal album for me right here. This right
Awesome.
here, like clockwork, back to front, every song, all heat, no sleep, all killer, no filler. Love this album.
I actually saw Caius back in the day,
Yeah,
and so it
guys,
was
is killer. And Eagles of Death
yeah.
Metal, I saw them not too long ago. And then I watched, grew up watching a lot of funny YouTube videos. We all did. You ever heard a guy on a buffalo?
No.
Okay, well, it's a 4-part series by this group, Jomo and the Possum Posse.
Okay.
Um, and they're an Austin band. They're awesome. You should come. You should try to catch them when you can. They do country and stuff like that. But they made "Guy on a Buffalo" about 14 years ago. That was huge for me. Let's see. Oh, and then I started getting to metal throughout my later years. Avenged Sevenfold, Waking
Oh
the
yeah.
Fallen, classic. Also, all killer, no filler on this one. Love this guy. It's not the best recorded thing, no, but it's seminal.
Definitely.
Uh, let's see. And oh yeah, I forgot. I was huge into Pink Floyd
I'm
back in the day. I have
I'm
every Pink
huge
Floyd
into Pink
album.
Floyd as well. Same here.
Every Pink Floyd album. Got to see Roger Waters not too long ago. That was nice. I need to see David Gilmour though. He's my favorite.
Yeah, he's my favorite too. What did you think of Roger's redux of Dark Side of the Moon? He did a very Leonard Cohen-esque remake of the album and
I have
just
not seen that.
recently.
Not even heard of it.
Yeah,
Oh,
it's interesting. It might be sacrilegious slightly, who knows?
that's probably why I heard of
I I think my least favorite Pink Floyd album is definitely The Final Cut. Probably because there's so
it.
little
Really?
of Gilmore on it,
Yeah.
but I do love, like, Animals is probably, like has
Oh,
actually
animals.
been my top
Yeah.
for a little while now.
Animals again.
It's a great
All
listen,
killer, no
front to back.
filler on
Exactly.
animals.
And
Uh,
the flow is outstanding.
the Division Bell is my first favorite. I love the Division
It's a
Bell.
great album, and it's post Waters, and
Yeah.
it showed. I mean, obviously, Momentary Lapse of Reason was, their album right after, um, you know, after Waters,
Hmm.
but it showed they could still continue,
Yeah. I do.
and
I
it's great.
love that album. Animals is second for me. Um, and then I don't know if you watch anime
Yes,
or
I do actually.
so I started getting really into some Cowboy Bebop.
I have
You gotta have the soundtrack
the
for
seat
Cowboy
belts.
Bebop.
Yep,
Yeah,
I
seatbelts,
have
exactly.
I have that as well in the collection.
Love this album. This one's so
Me
nice.
too.
I got
What?
that on 180 gram. It's one of my favorites. Let's see what
Yeah,
else.
I love breaking that out. I actually was really stoked when I found that album not too long ago. So,
Yeah, no. I don't know. Did you get the Japanese pressing?
um, I not sure. I have to look and
Oh, gotcha.
see if I did. I didn't check it. I should be more audiophile about checking my pressings. I do usually like there's certain pressings like I don't really want to buy depending on where they're from, but I'm pretty happy with German pressings and Japanese pressings and
Oh yeah, no, they're the best. Speaking of German, this is the German pressing right here,
Black
signed.
Pumas.
Oh yeah,
Awesome.
Adrian Casada's a great guy. Love him. He's crazy. I don't know where he finds the time to sleep with all the stuff he does. Then I started getting into some King Gizzard.
Oh yes, King
Love me
Gizzard and
some
the
King
Lizard
Gizzard.
Wizard. Dude,
This one
they're
right
so
here.
cool. I
Yeah.
just love how, from album to album, they're just doing whatever the heck they want and they're good at it. No matter what genre
Yeah.
they just decide to flip into, they're great.
I know. And where do they find the time to sleep either? They put out like
No.
what, 6 albums a year? It's crazy. It's absolutely insane how much work they do. But this one is very special to me. I got to actually meet the guys and got them to sign my I don't know if you can see it. Got them to sign my album here of Rat's Nest because
That's
metalhead,
awesome.
love Rat's Nest. It's a great one. Also, all heat here on this one. Not a track to skip. Oh, this is another very special one. This is actually a live recording of a show I was at here. Keep this in the case. I don't even like to. I don't even like to play it. This is one of my favorites. There, that's a live recording. And then started working with. Let's see. Oh yeah, I was really into Tame Impala as well. Love Tame
Yeah,
Impala. They
Tame
shaped my
Impala's good stuff.
view on modern psychedelic music.
I love a lot of psych music. I think that's why I really connected with the Black Angels is because their vibe
Yeah,
is like kind of psychedelic. If the Stone Roses was doing it, kind of.
yeah.
I love their sound so
We got
much.
the
And
Dan Electro, so you
yeah,
must be a big fan.
yeah,
That's
they're
cool.
they're fantastic. Yeah, Khruangbin I like as
Yeah.
well. They got a cool. I just love that vibe. It's like I did a recording quite a long time ago where I was doing that R&B kind of beat and vibe with bass line with some like surf guitar, and I was like, when the
Mhm.
first time I heard Khruangbin, I was like, hey, that sounds
Yo,
familiar.
yo, Khruangbin's crazy.
Like I was behind the curve.
I mean, just at the Grammys got nominated for Best New Band. They've been around for 10 years.
Yeah, they've been around for a long time and they've been putting out great music for a long time too. So,
Absolutely. Fantastic. Um,
well, what I was going to ask you, what is your preferred media platform? So when you're listening, what is your preferred media platform? And I like to ask that because I mean, I listen to every media platform that I can utilize, but I have my leanings.
sure. Well, drop a little knowledge on you. If you've been listening to vinyl that was pressed beyond 1985 and newer, it is digital. It is a digital pressing. It is 192K at 24-bit depth. Fantastic sounding. Any I my favorite media would be anything at that sample rate and bit depth, I guess.
Yeah,
Well, any way you can get it. Tidal is a great streaming platform to get that on most artists, not all of them. Vinyl is a great way. Um, the cool thing about tape, though, tape is infinite. As long as you record it right,
yeah.
it's infinite sample rates, infinite bit depth. Um, I mean, 10-inch tape at 15 IPS, 17 and a half IPS. That's gonna be my favorite.
I
Just because of the fidelity that it can put out and handle.
I would agree because I've experienced listening to some security masters on United Home Audio's reel to reels, and the some of the recordings I've super familiar with, heard them a million times, especially like the Rolling Stone stuff. The Rolling Stone stuff you don't usually think of as being recorded well, you
Mhm.
know, or sounding that great. And I mean, I have some vinyl recordings of theirs as well. And tell you what, we're listening to She's a Rainbow on that, United Home Audio reel to reel and on that Security Master. And it was just like I've never heard it
Yeah,
before. It
it's
was
a
so
new
good.
world. It just
Yeah.
opens up crazy, and if you're playing on that, everything else is the bottleneck at that
Yeah.
point. Like it's just so crazy how much imaging and projection you can get out of this little magnetic strip of tape. It's just like, it's this thin. Crazy.
My friend Larry, who's also a fellow ambassador, said this is definitely on ambassador's guest match made, right? It's true. We're like peas in a pod, Ryan and I. We're like cut from the same cloth for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Speaking of infinite sample rates, boom, that's factory.
Ah,
Bob Dylan on tape.
jealous.
7 inch. It's not 10 inch, but I mean that 7 inch tape goes a long way. Same with Steppenwolf. This is a live. It's live. It's not the best
Yeah.
recording. Still infinite. And then Johnny Cash with the Johnny Cash show. Ooh, look at that. Love that
Man in
one.
Black.
Oh yeah, love those. Some of my favorite. And then I stumbled upon this. This is an original 70s. I think it's 75, 76. Star Wars soundtrack. Also 7 inch here
Wow.
with the original
That is awesome.
booklet, the original art and everything. Like
Now
I was just nerding
I'm
out
even
over
more jealous.
that.
I'm just gonna tilt up to here so you can
Oh
see.
my god, you got a crazy collection. Yeah,
Got some Star Wars up there.
yeah. No, yeah, this is like some of my cream of the crop here. I love this stuff. This has actually never been played. I
Wow.
try to keep it that way, but I
Yeah.
don't know. I might listen to it someday.
Well, you got to play it at least once,
Ah, no, you got to enjoy it. You can't just hoard it forever.
So, what inspired you to start Wizard Sound, and what does Wizard Sound offer?
Sure.
M- maybe reverse that. What does Wizard Sound offer, and what inspired you to start Wizard Sound?
Sure. Wizard Sounds offers everything from diagnostic to the full restoration of a hi-fi or pro audio unit. Um, Recapping, retransistoring as the meat and potatoes of it, right?
Yeah.
Um, and then after those things are done, then we plug it in. Then we see where the other problems rely. Usually cleaning relays is a huge help, or replacing them altogether.
Yeah.
Um, Everything from LEDs to resistors will be changed as needed. And I say LEDs because I replace condensants with LEDs, warm white LEDs.
Yeah.
Um, Bias and balancing to the book actually is very important. A lot of techs miss going through the manual. There's a little saying called RTFM, if you know what that stands for. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that on the
Well,
show, but
we'll have to, censor it for.
but yes, always RTFM. There's nice little outlines that the people give you for idle current, for bias current, to make sure that it's running healthy. Because you can get it to work, but it might blow up again. If
Yeah.
those currents aren't adjusted correctly, the bias pots, the idle current pots can be going out. You got to replace those to then set the voltages correctly. It takes is a variac,
Mhm.
and a multimeter.
Yeah.
It's what, it's like $400 in equipment. Like it's not, it doesn't take too much besides RTFM and those little components there, um, and what to look for. You get more experienced as you go. I've been doing this for 7 years now,
Mhm.
coming up on 8 actually at the end of this summer. Um, let's see. I guess what started it is when I was going to college um, for recording and music business technology and production and all that. And I was recording some artists, and I just really fell in love with the technology of the hardware of it all, getting it all
Mhm.
to work and getting the signal chain right, and all that. Um, I started working at this audio restoration company here in Austin called Austin Stereo. Shout out to Mike and Joe at Austin Stereo. Um, they taught me like 80%, 90% of everything I know about these old guys, about changing capacitors, about looking up the
Mhm.
bias and setting the voltages correctly. Um, in fact, I
Checking
still do work for
tolerances.
them.
Yeah.
I
Awesome.
still I still even do work for them. Uh, they taught me most everything I know. I've been working with them for 7, 8 years, and they're really picky. The thing about them is they're really picky on what they want to work on.
Mhm.
They don't do reel to reels. They don't do pro audio. They don't do compressors and stuff like this.
Yeah.
Um, so I saw that there was a big blank space here in Austin, or not even Austin, the tri-state area almost. A big blank space that was always needed by somebody somewhere that needed old reel to reel gone through,
Mhm.
old 8 tracks gone through, everything, anything, and everything in between. So I decided to fill that blank space with Wizard Sounds.
It's awesome. I saw on your website that you work on studio gear,
Mhm.
you work on hi-fi gear, you work on guitar amplifiers even?
Yep, Fenders,
Mhm.
Marshalls. I might not support Mesa Boogie anymore. I
Yeah.
don't think I'm gonna work on those anymore. I hate those.
Yeah, there's a l
Not that good.
they kinda cram a lot into the
Oh,
amp,
so
so
much,
one
so much.
area breaks and then you're yeah. My dad was really into Mesa, and I actually have one of his amplifiers here. I still need to go through, and it's got an issue. I think it's a tube thing, but I gotta go through
You
that
gotta
and
hope it's
figure
a
out.
tube thing.
Yeah, gotta hope it's a tube thing. I
Those
know.
JFETs and those regulator transistors, man, they're so hard to find, and Mesa's not very friendly about their part numbers.
I actually run a Friedman amplifier, and, Dave
Friedman's awesome.
Friedman's
Yeah.
he's been really, really awesome. Anytime I've had a question, like, literally gets back to me in, like, 10 minutes, and it's like, "How do you run a business and get back to me in 10 minutes?" You know? He's pretty amazing.
Yeah, no, it takes a serious skill, a serious, I guess almost like ADHD, like just being.
Yeah, it's like it's a focus. It's like a hyper
Yeah,
focus. I get that.
yeah, exactly. Um, I could pull out the Fender Vibrochamp and show you the restoration through those boards if that would be
Yeah,
interesting.
it's pretty amazing. Like, I noticed that I know, like, I've built some guitar effects pedals here and there just from kits and stuff like that, and I've done a lot of my own work on my guitars, changing out pickups and stuff, but there's, like, so much more to it, especially when you got things like capacitors and resistors, and you're dealing with tolerances and making sure that they're within
Mhm.
those ranges, and so I'm still it's still overwhelming to me. I have gear that I really wanna get fixed and that I need to work on. I have, like, an old Harman Kardon PM 650, um,
Harman Kardon? I love Harman
that
Kardon. They're one of the best brands. Yeah.
I really wanna get restored. It needs some love. I have another old Pioneer
Love
receiver that I need to
Pioneer.
work on too, but
Love Pioneer.
yeah, Pioneer's good stuff.
I love
Yeah.
Marantz too. If you have any Marantz. But what I was gonna say is, bring that with you to Austin. I'll
Yeah,
get it done for you.
if I could fly it with me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm in Utah, so it
Oh, okay.
take me a little bit to get it there, but, I'm always trying to find, my the closest person I could probably find to do restorations here is probably Vegas for me,
Okay.
and which kinda stinks, but that's why I need someone like yourself closer by, or I just need to move to Texas, but
Well,
no, everyone's moving to Texas. No, that's what's happening here too in Utah. Like everyone's
really?
moving to the town that I'm in. It's yeah, it's interesting.
When you say Utah, I think of Mormons.
Yeah, I'm on the very. I can leave Utah in less than 15 minutes. So
Oh, gotcha,
yeah,
gotcha.
yeah. I'm originally from Central Coast, California. I grew up there and then made my way here in 2000. So
Nice.
yeah. Well, I was going to ask you, because I'm just getting to know you. Is this the first time that you're showing at the Lone Star Audio Fest?
Yeah, sure
Awesome.
is. Yeah, I haven't been very active on social media or doing things like this,
Yeah,
to show my skills or just put stuff out there at all. I've been working on that this year. That's been a um, big thing for me is getting used to social media, setting up a Hotmail, and
yeah.
making a an Excel spreadsheet for all my customers and all that. Definitely the part of it I hate. It's definitely the bane of my existence is the software and the computer works. Um, I'm more hands-on in that
Yeah.
aspect. I'm sorry, I forgot what question you asked.
Well, I asked how you got. Well, actually, I asked if this was your first Lone Star Audio Fest,
Oh,
and I was
yes.
also going to ask how you got involved and how you heard about Lone Star Audio Fest.
Uh, Not Daryl, but somebody working for Daryl just, like, cold called me
That's
and
awesome.
was like, Yo, we got a show coming up for audio, like, you wanna be a part of it?" And you know, I was working on getting more into the social media scene and stuff, so I was like, "Well, hey, why not?"
Well, that's one thing about the Total Hi-Fi experience, especially for the Lone Star Audio Fest and the other shows, is we want to get people involved that um, want to give them opportunity to be seen and heard, and that deserve that. There's a lot of small businesses out there and small builders and people that are starting out that do amazing work and build fantastic gear, and they need to be seen. And so that's a part of our heart and vision as well for the show. So
I love that. I
yeah,
absolutely love that. I think that's great what y'all are doing. You're right. There are so many small businesses out there. I'll shout out Vandergoose Music. They're also a small starting business trying to get up on the road for music production and stuff like that. But yeah, I love what y'all are doing. I'm excited for the show. I'm really excited to show my wares and talk to people about hi-fi and talk to them about what it takes to get your hi-fi system sounding as it should, kind of thing. Get it factory reset, and all the different ins and outs that is needed for that.
it's a great segue because I was just going to ask you what you were planning on bringing to Lone Star Audio Fest.
Yeah, I got a little bit of a lineup here to show. Oh, move this out of the way. This is my magic sauce. If you don't know what that is, get it.
Oh, yeah,
D5, the
Deoxit.
Oxid. Yeah. So this is a sample of some of the nicer stuff that I'll be bringing. We got a Revox A77 that Longboard Love, who will be across from me, booth across from me
Mhm.
at the show. Me and him went in on this together. He got it and I fixed it up. This thing sounds marvelous. I'm gonna make a post about it soon. I just posted on my story yesterday. but I will make an actual post about that. This 909 down here is going to be the crown jewel
That's
of
awesome.
the show here. Should probably plug it in and turn on the lights, but this this guy, I almost don't even want to sell it. It's one of the it's like I plugged it in to test it, and it just sounds so good. I don't even really want to sell it.
I know
I
you.
will,
Well,
but I will.
Daryl might just like throw that in a bag and walk out with it.
I know. I gotta keep my eye on him. Oh man, yeah. My girlfriend was like, just get rid of it. You'll come into another one. You'll fix it up, and you'll be
Maybe.
in the same boat again in a year. Just get rid of it. Get out of my house. Kind of. But these two are gonna be, the crown jewels of the show. We got a 707. I'll be showing. This
Okay.
is actually a 60s Bogans. I don't know if you can see it very well.
Okay.
I can't really move it. Well, maybe I can.
I'm familiar with it.
Yeah, this one's actually tube, uh, from 60s.
That's cool.
There, it's very pretty. It's very hot. You can there's the outputs right there.
Oh wow.
EL34s. You can you cook bacon on this thing while it's
It's
running.
class A then?
Yeah, a
Yeah,
full class A. There's no
that's
switching mode on that guy. It is just full class A all day long.
yeah. I had a guitar amplifier that was class A and it would do the same. It would cook.
Yeah,
Definitely.
absolutely. Um, Going on down the line, you can barely see some Marantz in the camera, but I got two Marantzes I'll be showing, a 2220 and a 1060 integrated amp.
Nice.
These have all been fully restored. These have every capacitor has been changed in these guys. Differential transistors have been changed, even if they worked. Get rid of them. New high gain, low noise transistors and everything you're looking at. New capacitors, and I only use Nichicon, Mundorf, and Wema.
Okay.
That's the only things I use. The only things I trust. Um, and orange drops for the tube stuff. For the film capacitors, got to use those orange drops.
Yeah, have some of those in a couple of guitars as well.
Yeah, we just got to purge them. Purge all the films,
I have
unless
a
they're those metal oxide ones. Those are kind of rare.
I have a friend that gets so into his audio or his guitar builds, or he actually started building his own capacitors, which is
Whoa.
crazy. Yeah,
I've never gone that far.
yeah, he's
That's crazy.
yeah he's pretty cool. Very knowledgeable guy.
Nice. I've been thinking about doing that with the stacked caps, where they have like four different values in like
Hmm.
one thing. Instead of putting four capacitors together to simulate that, I was thinking like, how could I just make that again?
Yeah,
And then I found a company called Hayseeds online, and they make good stuff. I've just been ordering them. But to tear apart a capacitor, which I have done a couple of times, whether on purpose or not,
yeah,
and just the insides of those things, I was like, oh my god, how does someone like do that? How does someone just hand make that? It's crazy.
yeah. It's pretty phenomenal. What kind of speakers are you going to be running all that through when you're showing?
Oh, I didn't want to be, you know, a bother. I didn't want to play loud. Within the convention, other people
Yeah,
trying to show stuff. So I'm just gonna bring like some little PSB monitors. PSB is out of Canada, one of my
yeah,
favorite brands. I run PSBs in my home audio for my
hmm,
living room and stuff. You don't need a subwoofer for those guys. Those things rock.
yeah,
I love them. Uh, but yeah, I'll just be running some PSBs just to demo uh, sound and stuff. I'll have some headphones hooked up, in the jacks there. I'll bring a couple microphones. Anybody wants to try, recording their voice into this with some music going. It's totally it's what these things are almost made for. A little
Yeah.
karaoke, little uh,
Well,
play
that
radio
that's
time.
another good segue because I was just gonna I literally was just gonna ask you about your sound recording because I did notice that you offer sound recording as well through Wizard Sounds.
Yeah, I do mixing and mastering. A lot of my mastering lately has been this guy. Just running stuff through that and adding multi-band compression and stuff like that. I use Ableton mostly. Um, but no, I know some. I don't own a studio. I have a
Okay.
home studio for tracking my own
Yeah.
stuff or whatever. If somebody needs a quick piece, like I just did a piece for a VTuber guy who needed there's some background music for his wait, coming back, starting soon, screen, just so he doesn't get DMCA'd. He was like, yeah, I'd get some music from you, so sure, I'll track in here. But Fifth Street Studios, Hen House Recording, Plum Creek Studios, I'm all familiar tracking in those guys. So
Awesome. Yeah, I do a little bit of home recording as well, and I've done some stuff, but I'm pretty familiar with Ableton as well, and
I love
I use
Ableton.
use Reaper as my other DAW. But
Yeah, Reaper's cool. I like their
it's
continuous free trial.
yeah, pretty much. Yeah, I bought it years and years ago, and it said it would like okay, it'd cap off at like 7 point whatever, and it's still going, and so but
No,
it's a great
Ableton's my jam though. Love Ableton.
Ableton's very versatile, and sometimes it's just I actually and no, it's not meant to be a DAW, so to speak, but I use air quotes too much. But it it works great as a DAW
Uh,
if you
yeah.
don't if you're you just put aside Pro Tools thinking and all that, you can do a lot
hmm
in it. So
Yeah, Ableton has
it's
everything Pro Tools
quick and
has.
dirty.
They have comping, they have grouping, they do it all, and
Yeah.
the in in the box stuff that it comes with, like their multi-band effects or multi-band compression and stuff like that is fantastic. It's
Yeah.
like you could easily fool me and I'd be like, "That's analog." I'd be like, "Nope." That is just stock Ableton compression.
Yep.
It's like, "Wow, okay."
Yeah, you can do a lot with Ableton. I'm pretty impressed with it over the years. So
Yeah. They have 2, things with Ableton. They have the DJ section, where you just keep looping
yeah.
stuff and keep building and everything like that, for live DJs and whatever. But then they have the other section with
Mhm.
the live tracking and the
Yep.
comping and all that stuff. So I mean, it's just all around. It's great. I couldn't ask for anything better.
I've used it for the thing that I I'm not a fan of so much, but it's a great tool if you need to use it. I've used it for running tracks when I was doing some live shows. I had like a full band,
Yeah,
but there was things that we needed that just weren't in those songs, and so
yeah,
I ran the
absolutely.
I ran the tracks, chorus 2, 3, 4,
hmm
you know?
Yeah, that's
So
that's one
it's a
of
great
the
tool.
one of the many things it was actually built to do. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
You can trigger a light show with it, you can do all kinds of stuff with Ableton, it's
I
pretty
know.
freaking deep.
It is crazy. Yeah, it'd be harder to tell me something it couldn't do.
Yeah, it's pretty fantastic. Oh, we've gotten into DAWs, we're in the digital realm. Ah, it's okay,
I
digital is
know.
good,
Yeah.
and analog
Well,
is good, it's all good.
it's a good software. I do
Yeah,
think that whoever's designing those algorithms, they know what they're doing and they sound good. Getting more into VSTs and stuff,
mhm.
plugins for guitar amps and amp sims and stuff like that. Gajira put out one not too long ago. I just got
Yeah,
pretty excited
they're
to use
getting
that.
better. I use, Fractal Audio, AX8 for a lot of live stuff because I play in a cover band, and I have too much stuff that I have to be able to cover sound-wise, and so it's hard to, like, lug I'd have to
hmm
lug, like, 50 by, 12 or, 50 by 24 pedal board to be able to cover all
Oh
the
my
stuff that
god.
you know.
That's
There's just too
enormous.
many
Yeah.
sounds, you know what I mean? So,
Yeah.
so I'm running that, just going direct, it works, it's not analog, but it still sounds good, and you can make it sound good up front. But I think that's the thing, is like I'm definitely in the analog realm. I lean there a lot more, but digital's it's gotten so much better,
It's getting better. It
you
is
know?
getting better. Even Behringer is getting better. It used to be
Yeah.
the armpit of
It used to be the
digital
armpit
stuff,
of digital.
but now they're pretty good. I gotta
Well,
concede on that.
they purchased TC Electronics, and I think that merger helped them quite a bit too, because they had some good
Oh,
stuff that
okay.
they were doing. But
Cool.
yeah, I was also going to ask you, being that we're both musicians and into music, are there any artists that you recently discovered that maybe they could be a brand new band, or they could be new to you, like somebody that, or
Mhm.
maybe a couple that you've recently discovered?
Sure, Meshuggah.
Meshuggah.
I don't know if Meshuggah I don't know how long they've been around. Can't be more than 15 years, I don't think, but, yeah, recently, I've just been getting into Meshuggah. They are crazy. We went and saw them at the Moody Theater, just here in Austin, like 2 weeks ago. Crazy light show, crazy sound. I love their time signatures, their
Oh
polyrhythms.
yeah,
They're like a
super
really
cool.
spicy Tool, you know? They're like
Yes,
really, really spicy Tool kinda
I like
deal.
I like Carnival. Have you ever heard of them?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Out of
yeah, yeah.
Perth, Australia? So good.
Uh-huh. Oh, dude, everything coming out of Australia has been gold recently.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I love them as well. Yeah, them, not as recent, but Opeth has been in my main vein as far as my playlist goes. Um, a smaller band, not as big. Nuclear Power Trio. You ever heard of Nuclear Power Trio?
I'm writing it down.
The Nuclear Power Trio. Uh, I think they're just studio musicians that got together and made a couple albums, or I think maybe just one album. Um, but they're great. They're instrumental prog all day long, prog metal, you know. Their bassist kicks so much ass. I actually when somebody wants me to write like a prog metal bass line or whatever on my bass six, I'll listen to some Nuclear Power Trio to get a good idea of what I need to do.
Nice. One band I recently started getting into was Sleep Token.
Yeah,
I
yeah, Sleep
hadn't
Token.
I
Yeah,
just recently started listening to them, and I don't know why I never gave them the time of day.
'cause they're a
This
little
is one of
soft. They're a little softer.
their, but yeah, I've actually enjoyed their kind of how they've kind of mashed up a lot of styles with heavy music, and I dig that because I have, pretty versatile tastes. I listen to everything from like classical all the way to death metal,
Mhm.
and everything in between. I'll listen to bluegrass. I'll listen to,
Yeah,
you
some
know,
bluegrass.
rock, metal, whatever it is. And Lamb of God was another band that I didn't give the time of day to, who I absolutely
Oh,
love
man.
now, and
Yeah,
I've
Lamb
been
of
listening
God's
to them a
crazy.
lot. So they've been on my playlist a lot. So
Go see him live if you can.
yeah, I need to. I need to. It's on my bucket list.
Hopefully, they're still touring with Megadeth, because that show was crazy. Megadeth and Lamb of God together. Oh my god.
Yeah, Dave Mustaine. Hello,
Dave was
me. It's the real me. I love
me.
Megadeth.
Watch me become a guy.
I always kind of waffled. Like I was really like a Metallica fan for a long time, and then all of a sudden it kind of like it shifted, and I was like more of a Megadeth fan for a long time,
Mhm.
and then now it's kind of evened out a little bit. But it was cool to see them, both of them, the bands kind of heal and make amends for stuff. So
Yeah, I hope they figure that Lars thing out
that Lars thing
eventually.
out.
I hope they
the
figure that out
Lars thing
eventually.
out. I don't know if the Lars thing will ever get figured out.
I
He's
know.
just Lars, right?
Yeah, just gotta deal with it.
Oh man. Oh man, I was trying to think of anything else that I was wanting to talk to you about. I see Steely Dan. Are you a Steely Dan fan?
Love Steely Dan. Yes, sir.
Sweet. I grew
Represent Steely Dan all day. Bard College.
sweet.
Man, Steely Dan, all the yacht rock, man. I'm a huge yacht rock fan. Michael McDonald, Boss Gags, Doobie Brothers. Man, you could play that any time of the day, in
It's
any
it's
mood you're
good
in. It's gonna
music.
lift you up.
It
It's
is
just gonna
good.
lift you up, and you're
It's
gonna
like
be like,
listening to reggae, you know, you can't be unhappy listening to reggae music. It's just
exactly.
yeah, I love me some Michael McDonald's.
Do you
I
see
love
the yacht rock documentary they put out not too long
No,
ago?
I want to, but
Watch
I
it.
I loved one of the trailers that they did for it was the guy who is producing the movie called up Donald Fagen, and it was
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
"Hey,
At the end.
so we're doing this movie, and would you like to be involved in it?" And blah blah blah. And it's called this, and he's like,
Yeah.
"F you, click."
Yeah. We're doing a movie about this genre. He's like, "What genre is that?" It's like yacht rock. It's like, "Go
Yeah.
fuck yourself."
Bleep. Anyway,
Oh, sorry.
yeah, it's okay. It was quick enough, but yeah, it was pretty funny. I'm actually looking forward to checking that out. I grew up on all that. My dad was a big Steely Dan, Dire Straits, Tom Petty.
Yeah,
You know, like
they're on my daily rotation as well.
all
Love
that good
that.
stuff. So lots of Steely Dan in the collection as well. I need to get some more. There's still a couple albums, but I was absolutely stoked. There's this little record store in Arizona called Shady Grove Records in Kingman, Arizona. And I love going in there. This dude does some amazing crate digging. Every time I go in there, I find something great. And so I saw Donald Fagen's Night Fly in there. I was like, yes. And then I found David
Yeah.
Gilmour's first solo album, and I was like, yes.
Oh my god, yeah.
I
Grab
was just like,
those while you
yes.
can. It's
That's
crazy to see those in the wild too.
what's the what's the vinyl digging scene like in Austin? 'Cause I've never been there. You know, this is going to be my first
It,
foray into Texas,
yeah,
besides when I was a child.
it's pretty saturated actually. Um, I go to this discount books, where they have a used vinyl collection, whatever. Dig through there every once in a while. One day I was there and I found a 69 pressing of Disraeli's Gears for $10. I'm not I'm not even joking. I could probably go find it and show you.
Wow.
But yeah, that is kept in a very safe place. That is talking about going circling all the way back to infinite sample rates and bit depth. Infinite. It was straight from tape to vinyl, just pressed. I mean, you can't get much better than that.
Yeah, I'd love to have that. I gotta look in my dad's. I got a bunch of my dad's vinyl here right now and see what he's got. I'm still going through it. But yeah, definitely. I got to see Jack Bruce with Ringo Starr and his All Star Band,
Oh,
and they
cool. Cool.
did a bunch of Cream songs. Todd Rundgren was on guitar. That was just it was so good. I'm a big
Nice.
Cream fan. My dad's a big Clapton fan too, so plenty of that was going
Nice.
on for sure. I'd like to do a lot of digging at like swap meets and stuff. So I find stuff every once in a while. I actually pulled out a crate somebody had underneath one of their tables. I said, "Can I look at the in this crate?" And they're like, "Sure, go ahead." It goes through it, and I'm finding like all kinds of great stuff, like original Beastie Boys, like first edition of
Oh,
License to Ill, and like
nice.
found like a
Nice.
first, one of Madonna's first solo album or whatever, or not first solo album, first album, the self title is what I meant to say. And then I found an original Guns N' Roses, appetite for destruction, and just like going through finding all these records, and I just go up to the person. I say, "How much do you want for these?" And I'm like, "I don't know, like $1 a piece." I'm like, "Yeah, I guess that's okay."
All right. It's just while you're shaking, like
I know,
handing them the handing them the
inside you're
card.
like screaming, "Yes!"
Yeah,
I
exactly.
always love that kind of stuff, but yeah, I kind of want to do a little bit of at least go to a couple of record stores,
You should, yeah.
while I'm
Breakaway
there.
Records, shout out Breakaway Records
Breakaway Records. Okay.
here in Austin. Yeah, they have fantastic employees. They're so friendly. They'll help you find what you're gonna want to find, and they have gear there too.
Awesome. Well, one of the things I wanted to do right now is just give you the opportunity to tell people where they can find you, and do if somebody is, say, maybe out of state and they wanted to ship you something and pay for it to have it worked on, are you willing to do that? I mean, obviously, some people like want things insured and stuff like that. So,
Mhm.
but just wanted to give you that opportunity to let people know where they can find you.
Sure, yeah. I've actually been doing these Lano monoblock amps. They're very custom. That have been shipped to me from Wisconsin, I think.
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, they just just return, put the return slip in the box, ship it to me. I'll get it done and ship it back with that return label. It's not too complicated. When it comes to shipped stuff, I do like to take a lot longer on the test bench.
Yeah.
Let it run for like almost a week straight because I don't want to deal with the shipping back and forth again
Yeah.
deal. So, make sure those voltages aren't swaying one way or another with the bias or the DC offset, and make sure that's going to be nice and stable when it comes to shipping stuff. Um, you can always reach out to me on email, Ryan at wizardsoundsaustin.com, or my phone number 512-843-1062. Text or call anytime. Text is preferred, as I get back to you quicker that way. And then we'll
And
set up a way to get your stuff fixed.
let
What
everyone know
else?
your website.
Oh yeah, sure. Wizardsoundsaustin.com.
wizardsoundsaustin.com.
Yep. Didn't have to fight too hard for that domain.
That
It's really long,
it's
but
good though, it's yeah, the longer domain names, I don't know, it's good, people find it when they go to, look it up with the SEO stuff, it usually helps. It also because it has Austin in it,
yeah,
helps for
yeah.
your
Helps you know
location,
where the
but
local area.
local SEO stuff.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
So
the world I live in, so
wizardsoundsaustin.com will get you to my site and you can see all the stuff that I work on. You go to the gallery in that website. I got some pictures. I also got a YouTube video. I plan on making more where I got this like POV chest piece camera thing.
Mhm.
And I went through and I completely put together every screw, every facet, every plate on a Pioneer turntable. So if you need to know, like if you're going through your own project, you can look at that video and see, okay, maybe I'm missing this part, or maybe this part is where this part goes, and this is how you wire up this kind of thing.
That's awesome. Will you be posting that on your social medias or on YouTube?
YouTube, yeah, I only have one video so far. Like I said,
And
this
what's your
yeah,
YouTube handle?
Wizard Sounds
Wizard Sounds.
as well.
Awesome.
Uh,
Yeah,
Definitely check that.
I think that's awesome that you're doing that, because people like me who have been, trying to restore some stuff on their own, like I have some speakers, they're Pioneer DSS E6s and they have grills on them. And I went through the whole like reverse engineering of trying to figure out how to get those off of there safely and clean.
Yeah.
And so I just did a video on it and walked everyone through it. And I tell you what, it's amazing how many people like comment and be like, "Thank you so much for doing this. I didn't I had no clue how I was gonna get these things off. And here's this
Yeah.
one video that's out there, you know?"
Yeah, it feels good to help people out
Yeah.
there like that. One of the reasons that led me to fall in love with what I'm doing, you know.
Well, yeah, because people were willing to share with you their knowledge and
Mhm.
their expertise and pass it on
Yeah.
to you, and it keeps something, that's a need going, and all this amazing gear, like all that amazing gear that's behind you isn't in a landfill somewhere.
Right.
It's
Yeah, it's
going to someone else who's gonna appreciate it and use it and love it and enjoy it, you know?
yes, and to that point, to get something, the Class A tube, right, from the '60s, uh,
On my list.
might cost, I don't know, $500 to completely restore, with new capacitors and tubes and all that. But to get a Class A tube, modern unit, brand new in the box, you're looking at like what, 5, 10,000,
Oh, yeah,
you know?
easily. It's It's a good way to get good quality gear and, have something also a piece of history as well too, so I enjoy vintage gear. My setup is pretty hybrid, so, I have some vintage Heresy ones that I'm running
Ooh.
Eclipses, and I love those, and
Love them heresies.
then I
Yeah.
have a Harman Kardon T60 turntable it's a sleeper turntable. I love that thing.
Yeah, I don't know why people aren't more excited about Harman Kardon. They're fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, I have a whole stack of here I need to get gone through at some point. And I love that stuff, but I want it working in prime condition. And if you need gear working in prime condition and you're in the Austin area or in the Tri-City area, hey, you can check out Ryan at Wizard Sound, and he could hook you up with restoring that gear and getting it sounding in its highest form and into original specs. And yeah, that's he's going to be showing his stuff at the Lone Star Audio Fest this May 2nd through 4th. If you haven't got your tickets yet, you can go over to theshownow.com. You can get tickets there. Use code Ambassador 2025. You can get a discount off of tickets. That's Ambassador 2025. And yeah, I look forward to seeing you, Ryan, and getting to meet you face to face and getting to hang out. And I actually want to pick your brain about stuff because I love learning more about this kind of gear, and I have a reel to reel that I really need to start working
Oh,
on. So
nice. Yeah, yeah, you're quad Akai.
yeah, I actually want to try to find. I need to do some digging and try to find some quad reels that I can mess with and set up. I don't. I still need to find a quad amp setup or receiver, but
My
it'd be
friend
interesting to
Longboard
check out.
Love, my friend Longboard Love coming to the show that you're gonna be at. We'll be showing some quad Marantz gear.
That would be awesome. I'll definitely check that out. Well, Ryan, I super appreciate you being here on the talk as part of the Total Hi-Fi experience, and I look forward to seeing you at the Lone Star Audio Fest. Also, coming up in June, we're going to be doing the Costa Mesa, the show, in June 6th through 8th. You can still get your tickets for that at theshownow.com as well, and you can also use code Ambassador 2025 for that. And it's going to be awesome. Lone Star Audio Fest is going to be great. I'm looking forward to connecting with all of the exhibitors and those who are building gear that they've designed even themselves, and also those who repair and restore gear. And there's just going to be an awesome time. I'm looking forward. I know that there's some exhibitors that are going to be there, and I'm really excited to hear some of the gear they're bringing. I'm not going to drop the names at the moment because I'm pretty stoked about one thing that one particular builder is bringing to the show. So I will be posting up about that on my social medias. You can check out me on my social medias. I'm at Punk Floyd number 4 eyes always, and We will catch you all at the Lone Star Audio Fest. Thank you again, Ryan, for joining me for the talk. Man, it's been wonderful getting to talk to you. I feel like I just met a kindred spirit. I wish we lived closer because, I'd probably be hanging out at your shop all the time.
Gotcha. Yeah, contrary to most Texans that say, "Ah, don't move here," we don't want you, get out of here. But no, I'd welcome, warmly welcome any audiophile, any fellow audio enthusiast to come out here and see some shows and check out the festivals and everything to get your hi-fi needs set and ready.
Yeah, Austin has a lot to offer, especially in the live music area as well. And I'm just looking forward to going to Austin and checking out what Austin has to offer, also as well as the Lone Star Audio Festival. Thank you again, Brian. It's great getting to meet you, and
Riot.
I will see you at Lone Star Audio Fest, Round Rock, Texas, this May 2nd through 4th.
Yeah,
Take
this
care.
weekend. It's gonna be crazy. All
Take care,
right.
everybody.
Thank you for having me.
Bye for now. All